t-ball outside of the school. It's my pleasure to welcome Alex and Ross.
So Alex and I will begin our talk by taking a minute to acknowledge all the amazing and wonderful speakers we have here today. Honestly, it makes us feel like we're underachievers, like we're like the losers of TED. And Alex really needed to
just that one. Just wanted to make it perfectly clear.
And even though we are the losers of TED, Alex and I are really good at one thing, and that's being out there. We do a lot of really cool, weird, and interesting stuff. For example, we stick stickers of America's sweetheart Billy Ray Cyrus all over Columbus. And if you're interested in any, just please let one of us know.
I don't know. Scroll through them here, ready?
Yes, here we go.
Alright, now that one's my favorite. I don't know about you guys, but... recently I finished the New York Times best-selling novel, 50 Shades of Grey, and I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I started a band called Cat Turtle. Actually, some of the members are here today, and we are a complete joke. We make music for the sake of being high energy and fun, but sometimes the energy gets a little too fun. Like this one time with Alex at one of our shows, and one thing led to another, then you end up getting shoved through a wall, and yeah.
True story.
Great story.
Terrible story.
I think our favorite thing we do, though, is Alex and I like to go wedding crashing, and if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what we're talking about. Now, if not, wedding crashing is attending wedding receptions uninvited. Now, our favorite thing to do is go in photo booths, take our pictures, then paste our pictures in the couple's wedding album, and then you write a note saying, "Thanks for the free food and drinks."
Something along those lines. So, these odd experiences and these wacky adventures have been a constant throughout Ross and I's friendship. And over the course of it all, we believe we've discovered a truth. Now, it wasn't a sudden revelation, but it was a slow change over time. And we didn't even put words to it until we started drafting this talk. Now, this truth is simple. Interesting people get the most out of life. Interesting people have experience. They're the people who have a wide range of funny and fascinating stories that captivate people. Because they've seen it all, and they've done it all, and they are all the wiser because of it. Now, Ross and I are certainly not the embodiment of interesting. But you know who is? That's right. The most interesting man in the world. Did you guys know that he once had an awkward moment just to see what it felt like? He knows how to parallel park trains, and in museums, he is allowed to touch the art. Now, if you don't know who the most interesting man is, he is a character on a very popular Dos Equis advertisement that basically just says cool stuff. And Dos Equis' official rationale for it is as follows, and this is in their words. He is a man rich in stories and experiences, much like the audience hopes to be in the future. Rather than an embodiment of the brand, the most interesting man is a voluntary brand spokesperson. He and Dos Equis share a point of view on life that it should be lived interestingly. Now, interestingly enough, this campaign was a massive success. In the 4 years following its beginning, Dos Equis sales went up 22% in the United States, whereas all other competing imported beer brands fell 4%. And side note, Ross and I have no idea if this is true. We have no experience with any alcoholic beverages of any kind. But according to beeradvocate.com,
Which is a reliable source.
absolutely, Dos Equis beer is somewhat subpar. And for your enjoyment, we found some bits of some user-submitted reviews from that website. It tastes the way that burnt plastic smells.
It carries the scent of death, like an ancient crypt, but for skunks.
I've had tap water with more character. And our personal favorite.
Dos Equis is the reason I feel completely alone in the universe.
You know, I don't know whether or not to like laugh or be sad. I mean, who really knows? But if Dos Equis truly does make people feel alone in the universe, then all the more power to the most interesting man. Because that huge sales gap that I talked about, that is unprecedented. That is historic. And we believe that is because people love other people that are rich in stories and experiences. People love interesting. But where does that leave you? I mean, this is kind of a high bar to set. The most interesting man isn't even real. But being interesting is not that flashy or obnoxious. It is a slow process that happens over an entire lifetime. And if there's anyone to prove to you that it's not about where you start in life or where you come from, let it be Ross and I. So for instance, here's some pictures from around my house. My mom drives a Honda minivan. Here's a picture of a Penn State fathead tastefully hung up in my parents' bedroom. And Ross's personal favorite, we have a sign in our kitchen that says dinner choices. 1, take it. 2, leave it. Now, is that not the most typical suburban thing you have ever seen? But it's not about where you come from or how typical you are. It's about what you do. And I have good news for you. You're all at a TED conference, and you had to apply to be here. So we congratulate you, because you are all interesting. Give yourselves a round of applause.
I think Alex and I's favorite part of putting ourselves in unique and interesting situations is the opportunities it brings. Now, a perfect example of this is Alex and I's claim to fame, the shirt. Now, we started shirt at the beginning of our freshman year. We procrastinated, didn't do anything with it until our junior year. And then once we started, we bought $700 from Alex's mom.
I love you, Mom and Dad.
Yes. And we proceeded to buy a bunch of shirts. We actually ended up selling out of those very shirts within a matter of weeks. And from then on, opportunity just rolled. We got our own website, shirtshirtstore.com. Check it out. We used our profits to go see the rapper Tyler, the Creator, in concert. Don't clap, he was bad. The specific reason to throw shirts at him. Now, if you don't know who Tyler, the Creator is, just know that this is the first picture that comes up of him on Google Images. So it's a good indicator of what he's like.
That's basically all you need to do.
A funny side story, when we went to the concert, we threw our shirts at him, and everyone thought it was so funny that everyone was throwing clothes at him, and then someone threw a shoe at him, and someone threw a block of cheese at him, and then he threatened to leave, and it was just awesome. We sent some shirts to the indie rock band Stone Iris, one of my personal favorite bands, and this was a good decision because they are really small and have no money or no clothes. So hey, they could use the clothes, it would get a lot of wear time, good publicity. We went down to Gallery Hop and gave some shirts to some homeless people. This couple in particular was so grateful that the man went to the UDF, stole a bunch of packs of gum and car fresheners, and tried to repay us for the shirts with the gum and car fresheners. And now, the point of this all is opportunities snowball into more opportunities. You start off borrowing money from your friend's mom and dad, and then one thing you know, you have shirts and you're Tyler, the Creator, and then you have a website, and it's crazy when you're just doing one cool thing, one interesting thing can do for you.
Now we would like to conclude this talk with the perfect example of what we've been talking about today. And this is the story about how we ended up speaking to you all. Now, it was about a month ago, and we were sitting in my room planning shirt stuff, and we got off topic, and Ross mentioned how he was going to some TEDxYouth thing. And we were like, wow, how cool would it be to be speakers at a TED conference, to actually give a TED talk? But we figured no, I mean, the deadline had already passed for this, most likely, and honestly, we're not accomplished or successful enough to do that yet. So we checked the website, and it turns out that the deadline hadn't passed, that the opportunity was out there for someone. And despite our doubts, we emailed in an application. And the next day, we got an email back. And here we are. How are we supposed to be men and women rich in stories and experiences if we don't allow those stories and experiences to happen? Because they're not in here. They're not in the comfort zone. They're out there. Out there where you've never been. Out there where maybe nobody's ever been. You have to be proactive. You have to take every opportunity you can. And like a snowball rolling down a hill, one thing will lead to another, and it'll grow and grow and grow until you wind up someplace that you never imagined possible. Interesting things are discovered by those who wander off the beaten path and stumble on them. But you just have to try. Stay thirsty, my friends.
So what if I said Billy Ray Cyrus was here today?
Well, I mean, I was actually thinking about that, and we were talking about...
Wait, no. If Billy Ray Cyrus was here today, I would have an achy, breaky heart attack.
That's awesome. Now,
Is he here?
no.
Aww.
But you've made a portion of him be here, but it's likely that the rest of our speakers don't want him in their videos. So we're going to go ahead and take him down.
Alright.
But he's going to be in our hearts. Last question, do you guys have a serious side?
We were thinking about that, and actually, I think we do. When it comes to thinking of ideas, it's all fun and games. It's all a joke. And then but when it comes to actually doing things, I think when the drive comes to it, I think that's when we get serious. We get serious about doing things because you can sit in your basement and make fun of people all day and laugh, but you're really not getting anything done. You're not actually being interesting. You're not doing anything. So there has to be an element of seriousness in actually going to do something.
All right, great job, guys. Big round of applause.